Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the February 20th, 2020 meeting of the Board of Adjustments, City of Montgomery. As we always do, we'll open our meeting with prayer, and I'll ask our Vice Chairman, Ms. Brown, to do that for us tonight.
And we'll bow our heads, please, giving thanks to the Almighty God, thanking Him for allowing us to arrive here safely and asking Him to accompany us as we leave to go back to our destination. We thank you, Almighty God, for everything. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Please stand with me as we pledge allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which is one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The Board of Adjustments is a 9-member board, and we're appointed by the City Council, and we serve on a voluntary basis without any compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is I will call the petitioner forward. If you will, please come to the podium, speak clearly and loudly into the mic so that all of us up here can hear what you're saying, but also those in the audience can hear what you're saying. Once the petitioner has come forward and presented his item, you'll be given an opportunity to come forward and express any support or concerns or opposition to a particular item. Once we receive public testimony on a particular item, the members of the board will deliberate and will render our decision. I'll remind members here tonight, if you have a personal or a financial interest in any item, you're required to recuse yourself from voting. Any testimony that is submitted by the petitioner on behalf of the petitioner during the presentation of the agenda item will be binding as to any decision the board makes relative to the motion. I remind the members of the board tonight, if you make a motion to deny an item, you must give a reason. At this time, I'll introduce the members of the board here tonight. Ms. K.T. Brown, our Vice Chairman, Mr. Steve Hughes, Mr. Nathan Williams, Mr. Corey Johnson, Mr. Bart Prince, Mr. Pickett Reese, Mr. George Howell Jr., and I'm John Stanley, your chairman. Our staff is here tonight is Mr. Tommy Tyson, Mr. James Center, and Jovan Hines is our recording secretary. It takes 5 votes to approve or deny an item. So not a majority, but 5 votes to approve or deny. Are there any questions before we get started? Okay. We have 11 items on the agenda tonight. We'll go through them one by one. I don't think that we have any delays or withdrawals at this point, right, Jovan? Okay. All right, the first item on the agenda tonight is presented by Benny Newton, representing Equality Broadcasting, requesting a special exception for a radio tower to be located at 1112 South Hope Street in an R60D zoning district. This item was presented at our December the 19th, 2019 meeting, and it was delayed to be heard again so that the petitioner could meet with the neighbors. So, Mr. Newton, first of all, before we get started, have you had an opportunity to meet with the neighbors?
No, I have not. I left my name and number with the Westcott Neighborhood Association, a member, and I haven't gotten a phone call. And there was a person here last January, and I left my name and number. And
could you mind speaking a little more clearly into that?
Yes, I have not.
Thank you. That's great.
Is that good? Okay, I have not spoken to any of the neighbors that showed up last time who said they wanted to talk about it. I did leave my name and number with a person from the Westcott Neighborhood Association, and I did not receive a call. And there was also a gentleman here the last time who opposed it, and I left my name and number with him, and I have not received a call.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask that question first, but it was 2 months when we looked at this before.
Yes.
Why don't you give us a brief overall of what you want to do, and then I'm going to ask if there's anyone here in opposition to or who would like to discuss it to come forward?
What I want to do, we have a low-power community radio station, WKEMLP. It's at 98.5 on the FM dial. We want to move the station from its present location off the Honolulu Road to the Hope Street location to have better coverage toward the east side of Montgomery. And under FCC rules and regulations, we can only move the station so far. And that's one of the spots we could move it to. And there's a 3-year limit on getting the move done. We've already burnt up about 6 months of it. And so far, we've got all the paperwork in place as far as what the FCC requires and what the FAA requires as far as height and stuff like that. So we're ready to go. We just need to get the funds and get approved.
Okay. So if this is approved, once this one is constructed, the one on Honolulu Road would be terminated and removed.
Yes.
And removed.
It will not be removed because that tower is still needed because there will be what they call a studio to transmitter. There will need to be a tower built. It may be shortened but not removed.
Okay. All right, so the intent here is for it to be 160 feet tall.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
There are 2 options in our agenda. One is a flagpole, and the other is just a 3-sided antenna.
Yes, sir.
Have you decided which you intend to put up, or has that been of any consideration?
I'm still at the same spot I was last.
You're what now?
I'm still at the same point I was last January. There's like a $10,000 to $15,000 difference in the price. I would love to put up the flagpole. That would be my first preference. But the money would be a factor in it.
The flagpole is your preference.
Yes. It's
Okay.
the more expensive one.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you, once this pole's up, will additional dishes and things like that be added to this, or is this a single pole pylon without future dishes?
It's just a single pole. There's no
Single pole
plans for
sign.
additions.
Antenna, excuse me.
Yes, the pole itself is what they call the tower, and the antennas will go on top of it. And it'll be a single monopole extension on it. There'll be 4 what they call arrays or antennas to be extended off of it.
Got it. All right. Any questions, board members?
I only have one. I have a
Okay.
question.
Ms. Brown?
But I would like to ask it of the people who are coming out against it, since he said that he couldn't make contact with
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to give them that opportunity if they're here.
Question.
Yeah, Mr. Howell?
Does this thing have to have a warning light on it?
It does not. It has to be at least 199 to 200 feet to have a light on it for aircraft.
Okay. Will there be a building or a shack next to it for something?
Yeah, the last time I came, I presented a photo of a communications building. It'll be either a metal building or a concrete building, probably 8 feet wide by 15 feet long.
Okay. Just curious.
Will this be enclosed with some type of a fence?
Yes, a fence will go around it.
Excuse me?
Yes, a fence
What, a
will go
6-foot
around
high
it.
type fence?
I'm sorry.
A 6-foot high type fence?
I'm not sure whether it has to be 6 feet or not, but that could be accomplished. 6 feet does not seem
Yeah.
out of the ordinary.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Is anyone in the, Mr. Prince?
And that would be your station where you would be working from?
That will not be the station itself. Initially, the studios itself will stay in the present location. That would just be the tower, and there will be communication between the studio and the tower.
Right. All right. Is there anyone in the audience that cares to address this item? If so, please come forward. Please identify yourself with your address.
Charles Delahaye, 640 Emerson Street, Montgomery.
Okay. Okay, sir. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we, after talking with the neighbors, as we said we would do the last time, and the people in the area, we still conclude that we do not want the zoning to be changed. We would like for it to remain as is, for the fact that we can't see where this radio tower or what have you will enhance the quality of living in our area. And yes, Mr. Newton did drop a number on me when he was here the last time, but we didn't see a need to locate him. We figured if he was trying to make a move, he should have been locating us. So that was the position that we have taken, and we adamantly still oppose the rezoning.
Sir, we're not rezoning. All we're doing is granting the use variance for this
Well,
property. The zoning remains the same.
Okay, we oppose.
You oppose?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Would you like to say something?
Could I ask him a question?
Yeah, sure. Ms. Brown has a question for you.
What I would like to know, did he try to make contact with you since you were here at the last meeting? And I know he knew you were here at the last meeting because you spoke.
The only contact I had was he dropped a number on me on the way out, I guess, and I got the number, but I didn't call him.
Did he call you?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Joe Holly. This is my wife, Alice Holly.
Okay.
And we
Hollins, last name Hollins?
Holly.
Mr. Holly? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and we oppose in that tower in that area also. We have a congregation there called the Whole Street Church of Christ, and it's in that area there. And then we trying to go out there and make sure that in that community there that we are really going out there to helping people better their lives. And those towers is a hazard really to the area. I mean, we did some research. Those towers can cause cancer to individuals. So that's one of the reasons why we oppose them putting a tower there.
Okay.
We oppose it. Did it go through the council? Because we spoke with the city council and they said it could come through there first. It seemed to, people are putting things in on South Whole Street that have not even gone through the city council. So we oppose it because we would like to have a better, we don't want commercial things in a residential area. And we're trying to build up the neighborhood. We're trying to get people to
Invest in that area.
invest in this area. By putting, it's already a big, huge Alabama Power thing over there already. We oppose it for reasons of environment problems, and it have not gone to the council meeting, and we were told by the council that it should go through them first. And they have been trying to bypass the council, the city council. So we have papers that when it was council, one area was council before. So we do not want it in that area. It was council before, denied before.
At the October, the November 5th, 2019 meeting, the council denied that property at 1120 South Whole Street, and also they denied 1122 South Whole Street.
Joe, at that time, that's when the city owned the property. Is that right?
It's when you talking about, yeah, right.
Yeah, and the city denied selling the property
Right.
to Mr. Newton.
Right.
Okay, all right.
So that's why that we're opposing them, that property on, I guess it's 1112 South Whole Street.
And it's in a residential area.
Yeah, it's in a residential area.
Understood.
And you'll talk to the residents that do not want it over there. They want to have this land for their children
Right. Right,
and
thank
not have this tower, huge tower over there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
And
you.
I appreciate if y'all voted down.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Audrey Graham. I'm City Council, District 4. I just wanted to say we did deny that sale only because we had reservations about what was being placed on that property. We didn't know if we sold it to them and they couldn't put the tower there, they didn't get all the approvals, we sold them land they can't do anything with, and then it becomes a problem. So we had a reserve about the matter, so we did not approve that sale at that time.
Thank you.
Did the council sell it to somebody else who sold it to Mr. Newton, or what?
It didn't come back before us, so as far as I know, we still own it. Do you own that land now, or are you just?
Mr.
So
Chairman.
you went ahead and brought it from the city? Who'd you buy
Mr.
it?
Chairman.
I don't know. I'm going to say that. I'm not aware of that. I remember him coming before us with that, so I'm not sure how it happened that he acquired the property, but I guess there's something else happened along the way that didn't have to come to us.
Well, as far as we're concerned, it doesn't matter to us who owns it. We're dealing with the use and that approval at this time. Ms. Brown?
Mr. Chairman, in dealing with the people in the community and in dealing with people on the west side, we're trying to build those neighborhoods back up. We're trying to put things in the neighborhood that will make it so that people want to move in the area. You have whole streets of houses that have been torn down, and the neighborhood is looking real bad, and we're trying to enhance it. So therefore, I don't see where, according to what the neighbors were telling me, I don't see where this would be an enhancement to the neighborhood. And I think that maybe we need to work with these people in order to build the neighborhood back up.
Okay. Is there anyone else here that care to address this item? Yes, sir. You have last say.
Well, I'd like to say I think it would enhance the neighborhood. And the reason I say it would enhance the neighborhood, if we're talking about a flagpole, and there are flagpoles, and it will be placed close to the interstate, the fence is 152 yards from the street. It'll be closer to the interstate than the street. And I think there's been a lot of misinformation about causing cancer. This radio tower will only be generating 45 watts. Light bulbs in your house are 45 watts. Now, the last time I came, I think AT&T had a tower coming up somewhere on the east side. Maybe that got sort of mixed in with it. And as far as the city lots, this is not a city lot. I currently own about 5 lots in that same area. So the city lot wasn't sold because they had concerns, but those lots were only 52 feet wide. And I can tell you, nobody's going to come over there for a 52 feet wide lot. No matter how you cut it, they're just not going to come. It's not big enough to actually put a house on now. I think a house has to be on a lot bigger than 52 feet wide. So I think it would be an enhancement. It'll be something as a landmark to the neighborhood. And I have talked to neighbors. I hadn't just set up tent over there and start doing stuff. I'm talking to neighbors too, not these neighbors, but I've been cleaning up that area, and I've had people to come over and ask me what's going on. They want to help, and you know, I just think it would be an enhancement to the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I do have somebody else, sir. You got something new to say? Okay, come on up. As long as it's something new we haven't heard.
No, you haven't heard it. We respect the gentleman's speaking, but I would like to say they may have been cleaning up the lots, but as I left there this afternoon, they are not clean now. And our position is, even though it may be nothing can be done with the lots, we certainly don't want just anything. And I can't see where a tower would be better than a residential home. So at this point, we maintain our position.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Newton, if you want to rebut his comment, okay, because you're the petitioner, you get the last say, okay?
I'm just going to reiterate.
Sir?
I'm going to reiterate that, you know, I did reach out And I didn't have your phone number. I had no one's phone number except I gave my number. So I just want to say I'm not trying to just set up and put something that would downgrade the neighborhood. Now, I know all about that neighborhood. I took piano lessons in that neighborhood. The neighborhood is in bad shape right now. And I think to clean it up would be the first thing to do. And this is not going to affect, and most of the folks that live in that area now are renters. They're not really homeowners. And if any of you have gone to the 1100 block of Holt Street, you'll see that. And I don't have a qualms with anybody in here. However you say it goes down, that is fine with me. I just want to say I am into trying to build up West Montgomery. That's one of the reasons why I have the radio station, to put some sort of unity, some pride back on the west side. We don't have any pride on the west side. And to keep it status quo, you're just denying what could be.
Thank you. Okay. I will entertain a motion now if we don't have any more comments.
I move that we deny.
Ms. Brown makes a motion to deny. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. You got that? Okay, any further discussion?
Have to have a reason.
Yes, thank you. Ms. Brown, you have to give a reason for denial.
I'm asking for a denial because according to what he's just saying, that we need to build up the neighborhood. What we are trying to do now is trying to bring some kind of hope back into the neighborhood and build it up. It has been just beaten down, and we're trying to build it up so we can build up interest in the neighborhood for residents to come back in, move back in, and take hold of the neighborhood and what's going on the west side of town.
Okay. So we have a motion to deny from Ms. Brown and seconded by Mr. Williams. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion as presented, please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Ms. Brown, you got to raise your hand.
What?
Raise your hand.
Are you going to deny?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the motion. 3, 4, 5. All opposed to the motion? Abstain? Raise your hand. Okay. We have, what was that, 6? Raise your hand for those who have voted to approve the motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1 opposed to the motion and 1 abstain. Okay? Okay, that's it. Mr. Newton, your petition is denied. Item number 2 is presented by Terry Lynn Ellis, requesting a coverage variance for a new accessory structure to be located at 810 Travis Street in an R60D zoning district. Ms. Ellis?
Yes, basically 26 years ago, when I renovated the house in the same area that he's talking about, west side, I'm trying to build up that area. I bought a house, and now I'm able to afford a carport. So I paved the land to build that carport. Now I'm ready to build it. I had a contractor give me a scale drawing, a plot plan, and I'm asking that I be able to follow through.
Okay, so you're going to use it for a carport?
Yes,
and for
2 cars.
A storage room.
And a storage room to make
And you're
sure I
not
anchor
gonna
it
have-
down.
You're not going to live in it, and you're not going to have
no,
any...
No.
I know, but I have to ask the question.
That's right. No, I will not live on it. I have a deck there. I put a deck on the back of the house. So I'm looking at the interstate, so I'm not trying to look at that flagpole that he's talking about or the radio tower. I'm near where he's talking about. So all of that is my land, the back of it. And I know to enhance my property.
Okay. And you're not going to put any plumbing in it, right?
What is it?
No plumbing,
No plumbing, no.
okay? Any questions, board members? Ms. Brown?
I went by and I looked at it, and I think this will bring some, back to the neighborhood and make it look better because it looks pitiful.
Okay. Is anyone in the audience care to address this item? Yes, sir.
Do I need to give my name again?
Yes, sir, please.
Charles Dillahay. And I think this would definitely enhance the structure of the neighborhood. I've done work around Ms. Ellis' house long years ago, and she talked about bringing up the neighborhood and doing things when she got able, and I think I would be in favor of her being allowed to do it.
Good.
I'll even help her.
Thank you. Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
I move that Ms. Brown.
Have a motion from Ms. Brown. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Prince. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 3 is presented by Valerie Brown, requesting a special exception to operate a cosmetology school at 5510A and B West Ferry Road in an M1 zoning district. Ms. Brown?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing? I am requesting a cosmetology school, like you said, at 5510 A and B West Ferry Road. We only have one cosmetology school now in Montgomery. Trenum is closing. They're teaching out their program. I worked at Virginia College for 12 years, and I was the program director. I taught out they didn't teach out. They just up and told us in 2 days we were out of a job. I had over 150 students that was displaced. And a lot of schools, Trenum and the existing other schools didn't take the students because they wanted the students to start all over. I had some students that only had 14 days. And out of the 14 days, they wanted them to start all over. So they're still not without a cosmetology school that would take their credits. So I want to just help the students, start out helping my students that was with me at Virginia College so they can finish.
So how many students would you have there? 20?
Yes.
Is that all pretty much the maximum that would be there at any given time plus employees?
Me, right. I would start off real small because I can only have 20 students, one instructor, 20 students. I would have one call instructor, a sub, that if I'm not there, she would be there.
Yeah. I know this property where you're going, and parking can be kind of tight over there. Mm-hmm. I've noticed it. Are you going to be in the front up there?
I'm in the front, yes, sir.
Up there, adjacent, in the front at West Ferry Road?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I assume the landlord is aware of what you're going to do here.
Yes, sir, he is.
Okay.
And he, the side, he said we could park on the side, like where his office is, in the rest of the park, and he said that I can't park over there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any questions?
No.
Board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? Ms. Brown?
I'd like to thank her for what she's doing and working with the students.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me. Yes, ma'am.
Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion from Ms. Brown. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Prince? Seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good luck
Have a
to you.
good day.
Item 4 is presented by Morris Hendricks, requesting a special exception for sanitary facilities in an accessory structure located at 2852 Sumter Avenue in an R100 zoning district. Mr. Hendricks?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello.
My name is Morris Hendricks. I just recently moved back home from Atlanta, Georgia.
Please move that mic closer to you. It is so hard to understand.
My name is Morris Hendricks, and I just recently moved back to Montgomery from Atlanta, Georgia, and I came back the week before Thanksgiving. And I want to build a little shack in my backyard, 16 by 24, for storage. I got a patio full of my stuff back there, and it's unprotected. And I want to build a shack so I can put my belongings in there, my tools, and have it for recreation. And I want to put a toilet in there So when I have friends that come by, they won't have to run in and out of my home to use the bathroom. So I feel like if I put a little toilet in there, I can move on with no problem.
Well, Mr. Hendricks, you know that you cannot use this for living purposes.
Of course.
Sir, you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You can't rent this out to someone else who would live there.
No.
You would be in violation of your zoning code there.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Just want to make sure you're completely aware of that. Board members, you got any questions? Is there anyone in the audience that would care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
So be it.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Howell seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
How deep do I need to put the sanitary pipes in the ground?
I'm sorry, how deep do you need
How
to do?
deep do I need to put the pipes in the ground? For my plumbing?
You should hope that it's a gravity feed, and so you'll have to get with someone at building department that's going to have to approve your plans.
Okay.
Okay, because you are running plumbing.
Yes, sir.
And you're tapping that plumbing into a public system.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Need to get a building permit,
Now what?
a building permit.
Building permit.
Yeah, you got to get a building permit.
Okay.
And they're going to want to know, and of course you are too, making sure you do have that deep enough.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
All right. So another question. Will I need something from here to say that it's been approved by you all?
You would come see Javon in planning, right, Javon?
Yes, we'll send a letter out
Okay.
for approval.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You
one
need
and
to
all.
see them, and they'll help you get your building permit.
Do I need to see her now?
Not now,
All right, sir. Thank you.
but you got to get a building permit.
Sir?
You've got to get a building permit.
Oh, yes, I will.
Okay.
I've just been waiting to come down here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 5 is presented by Deborah Diaz, requesting a variance to place 2 accessory structures in the required front and side yards, and a coverage variance for the accessory structures to be located 5857 Red Barn Road in an R75 district. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Deborah Diaz, and I'm a 1.5-year new resident here in Montgomery. And I do have 2 sheds that I would like to have on my property. I'm going to be using one of them as like my she shed that I'm going to be doing my sewing and quilting. And I also need a good amount of space for storage. My other one is my other favorite thing is power tools, and I like doing renovations and that kind of thing. So the other shed is going to have half of it storage, and then I'll have my tools in the front of it. And I appreciate your authorizing me to have those in my
Okay,
backyard.
so you want to have 2 structures.
Yes,
You want to use one for tools.
yes.
Is that for the storage of tools?
Yes, storing and, well, storage of other things too, but yes, my
Storage.
tools, yes.
You're not selling any tools?
Oh, no, no, no.
Just got to have it for the record,
Oh,
okay?
yes, no, no, no.
And quilting, is that for hobby?
Yes,
Are you selling anything from there?
no,
Okay. So you're just using it, and you're not putting sanitary facilities in there?
no.
Correct? That's an unusually shaped lot, isn't it?
It's amazing.
I know, that's what I fell in love with this
I
property.
don't think I've ever seen one like that, Tommy. It must have been what was left over.
She's in 8 backyards.
Huh?
She's got 8 houses around her that she's technically in their backyard.
Yeah. Is she off the property lines enough setbacks?
She will be with this request, yes, sir. We're having to
Okay.
treat it as you see it, as unique as it is. We're having to treat property lines as front and sides, and because of the way the ordinance reads. But this will clear them up, and they'll be legal.
Ma'am, you need to make sure that you're setting your buildings off the property line that are in compliance with the city code,
Yes.
okay? And you need to make sure that you're not spilling your water from these two structures onto your adjacent property owner,
Yes.
even though you're setting off the property line, okay?
Yes.
But if you get too close to the adjacent property owner, then you're spilling your water on them.
Okay.
Are these structures going to be on slabs, or are they built on some type of a skid? Are they on slabs?
Well, I'm not sure what the skid is, but you know, like the wood, that's the type that you could have on the ground, you know, like treated wood, I guess that's what you call it.
Right.
Yeah, and then a floor.
So it's not a slab?
Talking about cement?
Not a slab?
No, it's not cement.
Right, okay. All right, and no sanitary facilities in either one of these structures?
That's correct.
No living quarters, okay?
That's correct.
Okay, you can't rent these things, and you cannot conduct any sales from these buildings, okay?
Yes, yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
not gonna do that.
Any questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item?
What did you say, no sanitary units?
Well, no sanitary facilities. I'm just making sure she understands that. No living.
No living. With the understanding that that is to be added in the motion, I make a motion, so be it.
Well, you have to state the motion.
No, but,
Yeah,
okay, I motion.
speak so she can hear you.
The request there is a motion to place accessory structures in the required front yard and side yard and a 409 square foot coverage variance, setting off the property line, make sure water doesn't overflow on the neighbors. They're not on slabs, no sanitary units, no living within the units. Did I
Okay.
miss anything?
You got it. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hughes, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Item 6 is presented by Carrie Chappell, requesting a height variance and a street side yard variance for a privacy fence located at 2661 Old Orchard Lane in an R75 zoning district. This was presented as a complaint. Now, are you Mr. Chappell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bear with us just a minute. Yep, I've seen that fence under construction. I wondered what was going on there.
Yeah.
Speak loudly into that mic if you were, Mr. Chappell.
Okay, sir, I have it's Brewster's Ice Cream is on the back side of my house. They have a 8-foot fence between me and Brewster's have an 8-foot fence dividing us. I connected to the 8-foot fence and came out, I think I'm maybe 14 feet from the road. I'm 14 feet off the highway. And I built the fence 8 foot tall around the side also. It's a busy highway on the side. In my front yard, it's the busy road coming in. If you walk along the road, you can see off in my backyard when I did have a 6-foot fence up. I caught people just standing in my yard, just looking over in my yard at everything I have. I have a pool also in my backyard. And I don't have to have an 8-foot fence. I just connected to the other fence to make it 8 foot, so people wouldn't be looking at my yard. I could take the fence down to a lower level. I don't have to have an 8-foot fence.
So you're wanting to put, there is a fence there now. Is that the fence that you want approved?
Yes, sir.
Is that fence 8 feet tall?
That fence is 8 feet tall.
Is that fence 6 feet off the property line?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I noticed there were some other posts there with a string on it.
Yes, sir.
Is that where you were initially going to put it?
That's where the fence was from the beginning. When they built the fence the second time around, they didn't come out as far as the old fence was. So I was gonna extend it out because the builders that I had build the fence, he had it crooked. So I was gonna, since I was making it back straight as it was, I was just extending it out. I don't have to do that either. I can leave it where it is.
Why do you think a complaint was filed? Was it filed because of the setback, or was it filed because of the height?
I think it was filed because of the height. And I've been having my neighbors complain on me, and I don't know who it is, but they've been complaining. They say I work on cars. I never worked on a car in my yard. We own a shop. I don't have to work on a car in my yard. So I really I don't know why they're doing all the complaining, but I'm not a troublemaker. I don't cause nothing. I just wanted my fence up so nobody wouldn't look in my yard.
Okay. Question, board members? Is anyone in the audience who care to address this item? Is the person who filed the complaint here? Is there someone here on behalf of the homeowner association that may have filed a complaint? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. I heard ask the question.
Okay.
How long have you had this fence?
I built the fence in November, but the fence was already there. It's a pre-existing fence.
Yeah.
Pre-existing fence?
Yes, ma'am. I've lived there for 3 years.
I so moved that we grant the motion for a request of 5 feet height variance and a 14 feet street side yard variance.
All right, before I ask for a second, is there anyone in the audience, again, who cares to speak for or against this item? I'll entertain a second. Second, Mr. Williams.
Oh,
Any
excuse me.
discussion?
Excuse me, sir.
All in favor, raise your hand. You got it.
Thank you.
Item 7 is presented by Ronald Mitchell Davis, requesting a special section to store a recreational vehicle at 2850 Biltmore Avenue in an R100 zoning district. Mr. Davis, this came to us, board members, as a complaint as well.
That's right. Good evening. I'm Ronald Davis. It's nice to see y'all. We have updated pictures just in case if we don't have the updated pictures. I was told that I needed to move the camper. We moved in last June 2019. We bought the camper in May of 2019. The neighbors that were currently around me, we got verification that everything was fine with the camper. At one point in time, we had a gentleman show up. It was a guy that was delivering papers. He said that our camper was in violation of the ordinance. Said it needed to be behind the front of the house or in the back of the yard, from what I've understood. So what we did do is my camper used to be in my front yard. I don't know if these pictures are good, but my camper used to be in the front yard. We actually moved the camper to the side of the house so you can't see it as you're driving. And we also made sure that the camper, the tongue itself, was behind the front of the house. So we did make adjustments from it actually being in the driveway, and we put it...
So it is behind the front corner of the house?
That's right. Yes, sir. It's still on our property on a slab.
But the zoning, James, requires it to be behind the building setback.
That would be the...
If it's behind the front corner of the house, it should meet the building setback, right?
It's meeting the building setback.
Well,
yes,
I
sir.
can't hear you.
Yes, sir. It is meeting it's meeting that intent.
It's meeting that now?
Yes, sir. It was not when the complaint was filed, and they've moved it since, and they've got it as far back as they possibly can.
All right, so if he's behind the front corner of his house, he's meeting the building setback?
He is meeting the building setback aspect, yes,
So
sir.
why is he here?
Because he's not meeting the substantially hidden from view.
Yeah, in the beginning, like I said, my camper was in my driveway, and I had a blue tarp over it because of our pecan tree that we have. And so then I made every adjustment possible, so we moved it beside the house and behind the front of the house.
So if he's meeting the setback, he's in compliance?
Except the ordinance reads that it must be behind the building line, and it must be substantially hidden from view.
Substantially hidden from view?
Yes, sir.
Is it substantially hidden from view?
Well, not technically. I mean, it's
That would be a matter of interpretation.
yeah, I mean, from the street, as you're driving, yes, because it's not in the front of my house. So that's why we moved it to the side of the house, because people said that it was, they didn't want to see such a big motor vehicle in the front of the house. So we moved it to the side to try to accommodate whoever made the complaint. And
So I guess whether it's hidden from substantial view, that's an opinion.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
because you can see it from the backyard.
Hold on. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. But you will maintain it behind the building line, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, any other questions?
Question.
George?
Mr. Center, is
Yes,
there any requirement that an RV be covered or have the wheels covered? I've got a vague memory of something like that. Is that a requirement?
Not to my knowledge, Mr. No, sir.
Okay, it doesn't have to be covered.
I mean, there may be something, some of the homeowners' covenants may require it, if they even allow them. They may want them screened or whatever, but from an ordinance standpoint, the only thing that is addressed is not on the grass, substantially hidden from view, and behind the building line.
And that's it?
That's all the ordinance, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Got it. Any other questions? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? Is the person who filed the complaint here? Mr. Howell, would you like to make a motion?
I move we grant the variance as presented.
Second.
Have a motion, Mr. Howell, have a second, Ms. Brown. I want to say that we've been very careful over the years to restrict RVs from being front of the building line and to be as hidden from view as much as possible.
I understand.
Okay? And so we want you to comply with that.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, then the complaint could arise again, and we could withdraw our consent.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay?
100% agree.
Okay? All right. I have a motion to approve in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Item 8, presented by Jackie Wingard, requesting a special exception to keep hens on the property located at 100 Kent Street in an R60 zoning district. Mr. Wingard, Ms. Wingard?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you'll speak clearly and loudly into that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have 2 chickens. They're hens, and I request to have 4 hens.
You want to have 4?
Yes, sir. The eggs are just wonderful.
No roosters?
No, sir.
No rooster. Then you got a chicken coop that's in compliance with the guidelines.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Any questions, board members?
She says she has 2.
Has 2 and she wants 2 more.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I do a lot of baking.
We have anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion. Have a second?
Second.
Mr. Reese makes a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank y'all
You
very
got
much
it.
for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Item 9 is presented by Alfredo Cano, requesting a special exception for a mobile home for living purposes to be located at 520 West McLean Road in an Ag 1 district. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So actually, I am here because there was a complaint for the property that I have. I used to have 2 RVs. Actually, this is the first time I own an RV.
You're going to have to speak into that mic and louder because I cannot hear you.
It is the first time that I actually own an RV, so I didn't know the correct position. As you can see on the map, my property is on the road and is visual from all sides, so it's pretty hard to hide it. But I bought those 2 So I bought those two RVs in September 2018, and because of the complaint, I really didn't want to have any issues at all. I sold them the 12th of January of this year, so I got rid of them. And I wanted to get the approval for the new mobile home for living purpose.
Okay. Be used for you to live in, is that correct, and your family?
Yeah, actually, my land is 5.2 acres. On last year, I came before the board to subdivide it into 3 plat. Because the reason is that I have one area where I live. My parents have the second area, and this third mobile home is going to be for my brother.
Well, now, we're only approving one mobile home on this lot.
The other
It's
two-
2 acres. Are there other lots, other mobile homes on this lot?
Actually, all the structures there were there when I bought the property.
That's not the answer to my question. Our agenda says there's going to be a mobile home on a 2-acre platted lot. What else is on that lot?
Nothing. On that two acre
2
lot,
acres.
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
There are 3 lots, Mr. Stanley.
Excuse me?
There are 3 lots. He has replatted into 3 lots. He has 5 acres total, but he replatted it into 3 lots, and this is the vacant lot. He has a mobile home on each of the other 2.
And it's already platted now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. We're dealing with one mobile home on one platted 2-acre lot. Got
correct.
it. Cannot use it for rental purposes. It has to be
Not of course.
used by you and your family.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Any questions, board members?
Are they currently living in the home?
Are you there now? Are you using it now?
No.
No. To be.
To be.
To be, yeah.
Yep. Anyone in the audience would like to speak for or against this item? I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Hughes? So moved.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Please raise your hand if you approve the motion. Motion is approved.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Item 10 is presented by ECE Survey and Design. On behalf of Fidel Salazar Guzman, requesting a special exception for a mobile home for living purposes to be located on the southwest corner of Lewis Brewster Road and Red Eagle Road in an Ag 1 district. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I'm representing Mr. Salazar. As you can see on the petition, we're requesting to move a mobile home.
Okay, we're talking about one mobile home.
Yes, sir.
On a 1.92 acre tract of land.
Yes, sir.
Right? And it will not be used for rental purposes?
No, sir. It's for
Not only
his
for your living purposes?
His living purposes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Approximately how far off of the road will the mobile home sit? Well, okay, I'm looking at a survey. It says 43 feet off the front property line. Okay. Can you move it back any? Is there a reason? That's mighty close to Lewis Brewster Road. Can it be moved back any?
Would it say how many foots do you say?
Well, the survey, as part of our agenda, is showing it's 43 feet off of Lewis Brewster Road.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a lot of land behind it.
Yes, sir.
Can it be moved back any?
Que si lo puedo mover un poco para atrás.
Can you move it back some?
Yes, sir.
43 feet is mighty close. And there's a lot of traffic on Lewis Brewster Road. Okay? And traffic does move kind of fast through there. So can you move it back 75 feet?
Es lo que ahí tiene 43 pies. Dice que lo podemos mover a 75 pies. You say 75 feet?
Huh?
75 feet?
I'm just, yeah.
I mean, we have, they haven't moved the mobile
Is there an
home.
obstruction or a reason you can't move it back any further?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you okay with 75 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any comments?
This is in addition to the other mobile home that is on the property?
There's an existing mobile home there.
There is no mobile homes right now.
Huh?
They clean up the
It's
land.
it's not there.
No, sir.
It's gone.
Okay.
It's gone.
Okay. The
Okay.
old one is gone. There'll just be one structure on the lot, and that'll be
Correct.
the new manufactured home.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Good.
Okay, but
Okay.
it says here on this property with another approved mobile
Yeah,
home.
that's not there.
Okay,
That's not there.
so we need to take that out before we make the motion.
Yeah, well, it's
36 years ago.
one mobile home on a 1.92 acre lot.
Yes, sir.
And the petitioners agreeing to set it back 75 feet
Correct.
from the property line of Lewis Priester Road. Correct? Okay. Any questions? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to grant the variance as presented, as stated by the chairman.
Okay, we have a motion to approve as stated. Have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Hughes.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If he's gonna make that motion, he needs to make that motion so that you'll know there only supposed to be one mobile home on that 1.92 acres of land.
Mr. Howell, you want to clarify that then?
That there will be one home on the lot?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
just,
one home on the lot to be constructed, and it says on the plans it's a 4-bedroom manufactured home, so
And it's to set at least 75 feet back
set at
from
least
the front
75
property line.
feet back.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. We had a motion and a second. Who seconded that? Steve? Okay, and who made the motion?
Howell?
Mr. Howell made the motion, Mr. Hughes seconded it, okay? All in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous. Okay?
thank you.
Okay, we're on item number 11, presented by Paul Mara, requesting a special exception for a bar pit or a mining operation and associated equipment, building and housing, and above-ground fuel tanks in excess of 500 gallons to be located at 815 Hunter Loop Road in an Ag 2 zoning district. Okay? I assume that those of you that are here are here for or against, correct? Okay. If you will please designate a couple of spokesmen that can speak on your behalf, because we don't want repetition, okay? So if you can do that, it'll be a lot, it'll go a lot smoother, okay? Mr. Mara, you'll be given the opportunity to, who's Mr. Mara?
Oh, Mr. Mara.
Okay. You'll be given the opportunity to make your presentation, okay? And then they'll be given an opportunity to come and voice their opposition or their in favor of it, whatever. And then you'll be given an opportunity to come back.
I appreciate it, sir.
Okay? So if you would please, because you've got a lot of people here, speak loudly and clearly in that mic so everybody understands what you're talking about, okay? Because there's a lot of concern here.
I understand.
Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, my name Paul Mara, and I'm here to speak on a piece of property here.
You're going to have to speak into that mic.
Yeah, my name is Paul Morrow, owner of SDAC. I'm a federal government small business contractor. And I took interest in this piece of property located at 815 Honolulu Road. Especially because this property has been designated by the federal government and it got special considerations. The specifics on this application, I'm gonna let Robin, one of my employees, speak on it. We didn't move into this area to create a nuisance. My business has been recognized nationally for creating quality jobs throughout the nation. I got contracts from Maine all the way down to Key West, Florida. And this is an interested area for me because I see opportunity to come back home and create some quality jobs in a needed area. So I'm gonna let Robin present what we were trying to do over there, and hopefully everybody will be in agreement with me enhancing this area with some quality jobs.
Okay, go ahead, then I've got some questions.
Thanks for hearing us this evening.
I'm sorry, your name?
My name's Robin Haygood. I'm a civil engineer for SDOT.
Robert Haygood. And you're with who, Robert?
Robert, either or. I go by both. But
Okay.
I'm a civil engineer for SDAC. We, as Paul alluded to, we're very interested in this property for, supplementing our business, and we've requested to rezone, to amend our current zoning to mine a borrow excavation pit that's going to add up to about 25 acres.
25 acres?
Yes, sir. Currently,
Okay.
that's the area that would fall into the agricultural zoning that we could amend for that.
How do you access this 25 acres?
You come in the main driveway that's currently there, and that yellow line you see up here, that's it right there. We just extended the new road, the existing road.
That's on the loop road?
Yes, sir.
Are you coming through a residential neighborhood?
No, sir.
You're not?
No, sir.
Okay.
We're currently, our permit is before ADEM right now, so everything we're doing is being reviewed through ADEM. So anything we would be doing, environmentally speaking, is already under review.
What will you be mining?
Just borrow dirt and a little bit
Gravel?
of sand and gravel.
What are your hours of operation?
Monday through Friday, usually 7 to 5:30.
Okay. Is there any amount of excess dust that'll be created by this?
Well, with the dust, ADEM, that'll be stipulations of our ADEM permit. We'll be monitored by ADEM monthly, and that will be part of that dust mitigation.
Okay. Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
Yes, sir.
That
Typical
correct?
work week.
Is there any wetlands involved in any of this property?
There's wetlands in the back end of the property. That's why we can't go anywhere near the back end of the property. So pretty much the last third coming towards Catoma Creek will stay the way it is. We'll maintain it, bush hog it, and it'll look the same way it does now.
What about noise?
Noise, you will have some backup alarms and things like that going in the normal work hours.
Okay.
What did you say?
Noise, you're gonna have it. Okay, I'm trying to get out, ma'am, I'll get to you in a little bit, okay? I'm just trying to get out some things that our audience is gonna answer or have questions about. So I'm trying to pull out of you try to pre-answer some of their questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
We've heard many of these in the past, so we know generally what the concerns are.
Yes, sir.
Anything else that you'd like to say?
Well, to kind of, not to double tap on what Mr. Paul's already said, but this area has been selected as what the government's calling an opportunity zone. And in that, it's encouraging people to invest in these areas to bring money back to the community. And the goal here is to create jobs and to really amplify what's going on in that area.
How many jobs will this create?
30 to 50.
30? Most of them truck drivers and operators?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what we're doing is being highlighted on a national level. So the quality of the quality of the operation we'd be presenting is not something that we take lightly.
So you would operate this under what name? Is it a corporation? Is it you individually or?
SDAC.
SDA?
It's SDAC, which is a corporation that I started back in 1985.
A corporation?
A corporation, yes.
Okay.
And we mostly do everything right now for the federal government. But lately, I done came and got obtained licensing, general contractor license, mechanical and HVAC license for the state of Alabama, as well as the state of Florida. And Washington, D.C. has took special interest in me creating quality jobs in this area because of that piece of property there.
Okay. Questions, board members? We can get into the. Yeah. Okay. Ms. Bryan?
Well, what does SDAC stand for?
You'll have to ask them.
It stands for South Dade Air Conditioning.
Wait a minute, give it to me again.
It stands for South Dade Air Conditioning. It's a company that I created down in Homestead, Florida back in 1985. That was a small community
South
base.
Dade Air Conditioning?
South Dade, like in Dade, D-A-D-E.
Thank you.
I assume you would have proper insurance coverage?
Yeah, we got about $20 million in insurance policies. I don't know if we need more than that or not here.
Question.
Mr. Howell?
Mr. Morrow, you own the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long will this thing be in operation? How many months or years?
Well, this new opportunity zone is a 10-year program that's going to allow me to create quality jobs over there. And this just I'm using this as a headquarters setup, and it's going to be used as an incubator program as well to create other small businesses and other, small minority peoples, how to be a successful contractor. And they are using me for an example because I am the Small Business Person of the Year award winner for 2017. And got an award for being the fastest small business, the growing small business in the country in 2017. So I'm a Alabama resident. I created this business after getting injured in the Army back in 1981. And so I'm moving back to Alabama to create opportunity for the peoples and for the community that I know and love.
How long will this place?
This operation is going to be extended. It won't be. It's just a preliminary. The stuff that we are doing now just to set the property up and get the facility set up out there. But we have an operation that's going to be extended almost to the year 2049 for me to create these opportunities, according to the rules and regulations of that opportunity zone.
Okay,
But there won't be no construction site going on. This construction site probably maybe lasts from 6 months to 18 months. And after that, it'll be quiet.
And
it'll be a beautiful piece of property you can drive by, and it'll be a beautification piece of property for the community.
So it could be in operation until 2029.
It could be in operation until the year 2049.
49?
Not for construction, but for development purposes or other small businesses in the area.
Okay. And when we're through digging up dirt, the property will be left in what condition?
Okay.
Part of our ADEM permit, you have to have a restoration plan as well.
I figured
so
as much.
With that, we would have to reclaim the pit. It would have to be filled back in.
It will be filled back in?
Either that or turned into a pond, one of the two.
Okay, reclaim, all right.
Yeah, ADEM will delineate a few different options you can have to do that. It's usually either a pond or you turn it back into you use excess soil to fill it back in.
Okay. I'm not real familiar with that stuff, but Mr. Reese is, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. We'll listen to anyone who has a concern or question or in opposition or in support of this item. So please come forward. And please make your point, because I'm going to give several people an opportunity to talk, but I'd like for you to limit it to a couple of spokesmen primarily. But if you got a point that's not covered, we'll hear it.
Yes, sir. Well, my name is Tammy Hill. I live on Hunter Loop Road. I have been.
I'm sorry, your last name?
I'm Hill, H-I-L-L.
Hill. Amy Hill.
Yes. I have been on Hunter Loop Road and in the area since 1986. I own 3 parcels of land there and a co-owner of a second. I don't know if you have been on Hunter Loop Road lately. In my mind, our district, that portion of our district, is the most ignored and overlooked in the city of Montgomery. Ms. Brown, I appreciate your concern in setting you're wanting to build and you're concerned about West Montgomery, but Hunter Loop is also a portion of West Montgomery. We do not get consideration for anything. I don't know if you've been down Hunter Loop Road the last couple of weeks. I'm not even sure I've not been able to get a whole lot of answers. I'm still working on some individuals, but he has basically taking a beautiful agriculture zoned property and turned it into a construction zone. The 25 acres that they are wanting to dig up is, according to what I'm reading on this map, borders the back of my property, my parents' property, and the residents of Grovewood, as well as several other residents there on Hunter Loop Road. We do not need any additional possible situations for flooding hazards or any other contamination. I understand that the gas tanks will be above the ground, but you have all of those machines and machinery and trucks bringing in and leaking possible items that will could potentially get into the water levels or water options there on Hunter Loop Road. And all I ask is that you deny this motion based on the fact, I understand they don't have to drive through a residential, but we consider that a residential road. That is a neighborhood that has been there since the 1950s. And I just feel that this is even going to decrease our property value.
So they are not driving through a residential neighborhood?
No, they are not driving through a residential neighborhood, but Hunter Loop has Grovewood Community, which is a residential neighborhood. And there are several homes located on Hunter Loop Road.
I thought so.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
'Cause I passed.
And as I said, another thing, and this is for a whole nother meeting, but Hunter Loop Road is one of the worst roads in the city of Montgomery, in my opinion, because I have to have my front end aligned on my car every 6 weeks. So you're just adding additional congestion and heavy machinery and type equipment that is going to continue to tear up our road that just is patched and never fixed or repaved.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening.
Hello.
I have several problems with
We
this.
need
Number
your name.
one, their
Sir,
land
time
joint.
out. We need your name and your address.
My name?
Yes, sir.
James Bishop.
James
Bishop.
James Bishop. Okay, Mr. Bishop.
I live in the Grovewood community, and I live in the bottom end of it where we already have to worry about flooding. I'm worried about this place causing worse flooding by hauling all this dirt out of here, or ever what they're gonna haul, mine. Plus, it's gonna make, what they're doing is gonna make everybody in Grovewood's property value drop. And then you got the traffic on Hunter Loop Road. It's already so bad now you can't keep a car lined up because of gas trucks and log trucks. And we don't need any more traffic on Hunter Loop Road. But my main worry is my property and my property value, what joins their property.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got to say.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bishop.
My name is Jamie Friendly. I'm here on behalf of my mom, Annie Friendly. Her property is adjacent to where they want to do the work at. Here for the past 2 weeks, they've been doing work out there. We've been getting a skunky smell. The previous owner dug up some areas over there, and she has runoff now when it rains that part of her property actually floods out when it didn't used to flood out. So we're kind of worried about the property that my mom has purchased down there, and that she's done a whole lot of work of cleaning up and getting it developed and have a beautiful place down there. And now you're gonna have these people coming in here where you're gonna have dust kicking up. We're gonna have vehicles, all over the place. We're a pretty big family, got a lot of small kids and everything. And what is this gonna do for our air quality over there? I mean, we're gonna be right adjacent to them. So we need to know, what are you guys gonna do to keep our property value from going down, to keep water from running back over on our property? We also have a pond over there. We don't know what you're gonna do to interfere with the groundwater over there that may inhibit something that's going on with the pond over there. So when we moved down there with the envision of moving into a residence and not moving into an area where they're gonna be down there digging and doing all of this type of construction and type of stuff down there. And also to bring up the congestion, what are you guys gonna do as far as to turn off on the road? Because we're already, we've experienced 3 or 4 accidents in front of our house where cars are trying to pass other cars because they're going too slow, and we're getting accidents down there. Or are you guys gonna build a turning lane so you guys can get off on your own road? What are you gonna do to ease that
Sir,
congestion?
you need to talk to us, not to them.
what are they going to do to ease the congestion of the roads coming down there? Because right now, Hunter Loop Road is kind of dangerous as it is. You got guys doing 65, 70 on that road down there. You got kids just walking up from the church, you know, every Wednesday night and stuff like that. Now you're adding these type of vehicles down there. I mean, we got a community. This is not a, you know, this is not an industrial area down there. We have an actual community down there. And I don't know if you guys are just overlooking that this is a residential community. This is not a commercial community. We already got all the gas tankers from up the road up there at the fuel tank, which was there prior, and we live with that. But now you're adding another obstacle coming down those roads. You got anything else, Mark?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
How are y'all?
Good.
We're Mike and Wanda Jernigan. We live on, excuse me, I'm a little nervous. We live on Fannin Road. Our property
On Peyton Road?
Fannin, F-A-N-N-I-N.
Okay.
Our property actually touches the property that they're talking about building on, all the way down one side. You ask about wetlands, the back of their property is wetland, and across the street from where they're talking about digging, that's all wetland. There are some Indian burial stuff on their property, and they're asking to put some mobile homes on this property also, and it's going to be on the line near us that actually was about 3 foot underwater in 1990. The backside of their property right now is flooded. We have pictures of that as of today from our property. So there's a dump transfer station on the end of Hunter Loop that has those trucks. Then we have another dump down there where they dump all kind of other stuff that's on Hunter Loop, plus a pallet factory that causes lots of problems. And then you know about the gas terminal stuff. And our roads are just a mess. She may have something to add.
Just the dump that he referred to.
Speak into the mic.
The dump that he's referring to used to be a gravel pit that's further down Hunter Loop, and now there's a sign on Birmingham Highway that says dump your junk.
And it was a nice gravel pit that was fishing and everything, pay to fish, and now they've turned it into what I'm afraid this is going to end up being. Where they're talking about, it butts up to the whole neighborhood that most of these people live in. Literally, their backyard would be looking at where they're digging.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Thank
the
you.
noise level has already started.
Ma'am?
The noise has already started, all the machines, and when they're backing up, the beep, beep, beep. They tore down some properties that were on this property. They've been burning them, and all the smoke's been coming across our property.
They have
We're
torn
having to
down,
deal
they
with
have
that.
torn down 3 houses and burned 2 of the 3 houses for what that's worth, and they've dug lots of stuff. If you drive by there, there's already giant mounds. So, and, you know, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Troy Hardigree. I own 3 properties in the community of Grovewood. My concern is that my property already is in a flood zone that I have to have special insurance for every year. With the work that they're going to be doing, is this going to change my flood zone from X to Y or Y to Z to make it where I have to pay another $1,200 a year in insurance? Because when they start digging a pit, the water that accumulates has to go somewhere. And I'm concerned of what it's going to do to my yard, my neighborhood, and mostly what it's going to cost me, more expenses to own my home there at Grovewood and my other 2 properties. Not only that, that's my main concern. And then if it does change my flood zone, then is that going to change the property value of my home if I want to resell? Because I don't like, they're talking 30 to 50 jobs. Well, I'm assuming 40 of those are going to be dump truck drivers going up and down Hunter Loop every day. To enter into Hunter Loop Road, there is a very sharp curve that we have to watch out for tankers already, and 18-wheelers that use that as a shortcut to get over to the Western Boulevard. So the danger in us entering and exiting our neighborhood, because dump trucks, they're going to be trying to fly back and get another load and get it delivered somewhere. That's one of my concerns, and the property value or the flooding issue And the third issue is on Fannin Road, there's a church called Fannin Road Baptist Church. Many of these members, the people that are here, are members of the church. We have bought the property, 17 acres, adjoining now what's going to be called a gravel pit, basically what we understand it to be. We have bought the property. We have all given our hard-earned money over 10 years to build a new church on that site. So how do you want to build a new church, and is it fair to the members of the community that now you're going to have all this big gravel pit out there in the back of your church, right on the property line is dead, touching it, right next to it? Was that fair to us to plan to build and worship God in our community and then have this big monstrous pit next to us now, and all the dust and everything that goes, and the noise and all that? So thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'll hear one more person.
My name is Audrey Graham. I am coming because while I am an encourager of businesses, and I know that business brings growth in a city, and we look for that, I'm also I'm stronger against family and community. And I feel that this business is just not beneficial for the people out there. I agree with them. The pallet company is a thorn in my flesh as well as their flesh. And I just see this as the same thing. I'm going to get complaint after complaint and call after call, and I just can't see it being beneficial for the people who already live there to impose on them in such a way that their quality of life will not be the same, and it will go down. And so I'm asking that this board consider the people in this community above business this time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Morrow, would you like to come back and speak to these concerns?
Yeah, I'm very sensitive to the concerns of the peoples, and probably some of the things that are going on over there, they don't understand it. We don't have no intentions of creating an ISO there. And right now, because of the opportunity zone, if anybody up here in the board...
Mr. Morrow, are we having trouble hearing you? You're going to have to speak loudly and clearly into that mic.
I got a heavy voice.
I mean, it's not just me, it's everybody up here.
All right, I'm gonna try to make it sound as okay. How about that?
That's better.
Listen, I'm very sensitive to the concerns of the people and passionate to it as well. Okay, I understand their concerns, but I know that they don't really understand what's happening over there. If any of you people on that board understand what is the opportunity zone, and just because of that, the property value is already up 20% over there in that area. What we are doing over there is nothing different and nothing new. This is an industrial area. You have oil refineries and gas, all these people's over there. Got a landfill there, an asphalt plant, and then you have Mid-South paving there. You see, what we are doing is very, very low scale than what these people are doing over there already. So what I'm gonna request today, that we defer this until we, put a plan together for these people can see exactly what we are planning on doing over there. I don't have a hidden agenda, and I want these people to understand what I'm doing is not trying to hide something. What I'm doing is bringing quality jobs, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the average job that we have got going over there, according to the federal pay scale, starts out at $24 an hour. So this is nothing that here in the area already, I know it's not, because we done already picked the people out of a place called Colorado over there, where they pay scale starts at $8 an hour, and some of those same people that were making $8 to $18 an hour, they're making from $18 to $63 an hour now because of their professional skills. So the stuff that we are doing, preliminary stuff over there we are doing, is not gonna last but for a preliminary period. This is an opportunity zone, and if you people understand what opportunity zone means, the federal government is going to infuse hundreds of millions of dollars through my business in this area here. These monies will be coming into this area not to be created just in that zone, or they're going to be for the whole community. So I'm not here to try to, blindfold somebody. I done did a lot of stuff. I've been in business for a long time, and I done made a lot of money. I'm not interested in making money. My intention is to change the lives and the communities around me that I know and love. So I would like to, probably defer this item until we can put together a better situation that we can inform the people what's going on over there and make sure that these people don't think we are trying to hide something from them.
Thank you, sir. Robert, you want to have
Yes, sir.
anything else to
I
say?
just wanted to address a few of the questions. I was taking notes. One, I've heard a lot of, two big things I've heard a lot about was the eyesore and the flooding. One, if you look at where we're proposing digging from the church, you're barely going to be able to even see it from the road, much less from the church. You won't be able to see it from the church. What's that? That's a 270-acre parcel of ground, and we're proposing digging on 25 of it. The flooding, I don't know, Mr. Reese, you apparently know a little bit about ADEM permits. There's no way ADEM would ever let us let water off that place. The whole pit scheme is going to have to be revolved around containing and self-containing water. Nothing can leave our site. And if it does, it has to go into a natural, already existing waterway. There's no way water can run uphill. I don't care how much you got of it. The gas tanks. So I don't know how to even discuss that one. There's millions of gallons of fuel sitting about 500 yards from where this site is. I mean, if somebody, obviously they've figured out how to do it, and if they can do it, I promise you we can. The truck traffic, I agree with that. There's some, I don't know how many of y'all go up and down Hunter Loop Road, but there needs to be that road needs some TLC pretty bad. As far as heavy equipment and the noise goes, that's going to come with it, but it will happen in normal working hours. The driveway access, I don't know how many of y'all have been down through there lately, but we've already widened our driveway to provide a safe, at least a large field of view to be able to see when you're coming in and out. Those were the main ones I heard. And
we need to wrap it up.
Also,
okay.
The lower area that
we
was
got
referred
people
to
up here that are going to be leaving.
Yes, sir.
And you don't want two of us to leave because you got to have 5 votes one way or the other. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And we only got 7 of us up here.
The last thing I'll touch on
All right,
is
go ahead.
the flooding in the lower part of the
Yeah.
property. We've already addressed that we're not even touching that end of the property.
Got it. Okay.
Well,
All
Mr.
right.
Morrow.
Thank you.
Mr. Morrow. Mr. Morrow.
Yes.
Did we understand you to say you wanted to table this?
Well, if it going, south according to what the lack of understanding what you got the tenants,
Well, I mean, as a petitioner, you have the right to table it and delay it if you think that'll benefit you for the future, for the next meeting, okay? You can do that, okay? If you think that something different can happen between now and our next meeting on March the 19th, okay? But I want you to know, one way or the other, it takes 5 votes to approve or deny a motion, okay, the petition.
Well, we're gonna go for it.
Sir?
We'll go forward.
I can't hear you.
We'll go forward.
You're going to go forward?
Go forward.
Okay,
yes.
that's fine. Mr. Williams, you got a question?
No, what I want to say is that I noticed that you're talking about money, but you're talking to people whose homes been out there all their life, and they're concerned too. So I just think you should consider that. It's not all about money all the time. Those people live out there.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is just another suggestion made to you about tabling it and get back with them if any way possible, where they can come to another agreement. But I just don't think that you don't look over them. They're the residents there. You coming in to that neighborhood, and they've been living there. They know the condition better than you know the condition because they're there. So I think you should consider that also.
Ms. Brown?
Yeah.
I didn't exactly know what this open pit or borrow mining was concerning, so I did research on it. And it says that this type involves the process of disrupting the ground, which leads to the creation of air pollutants. And the transportation, there are factors including drilling, blasting, and loading and unloading of overburden. These type of pollutants cause significant damage to public health and safety, in addition to damaging the air quality. The inhalation of these pollutants can cause issues to the lung and ultimately increase mortality. So there is a danger the pollutant affect the flowers and the animals in the area surrounding this mine. So therefore, you're not only talking about what they want to keep their neighborhood and their residents according to the problems that they are presenting here tonight, but there is a danger that exists also. It says that it is one of the most dangerous sections in the industrial world. It causes significant effect to miners' health as well as damage to the ecological land. It causes changes to vegetation, soil, and bedrock. I researched that, I don't understand.
Okay, yes. I appreciate the comments, man. But what I want to do is I want to answer his question first, because he talked about the money thing. When I spoke about money, it wasn't money to be made by my company. It was money to be infused directly into the community to enhance the community, quality jobs, and to help develop other businesses like mine, or businesses like me, like that had the potential to be like me. Those monies are made to come to Montgomery and help to enhance other people that intend to go into small businesses. Not for me personally. Now, the concerns that the people have and ma'am have about the fracking and all that, our operation is nothing the size of what she is considering there. We got a small pit that we're using to build up the offices and stuff that we're going to put on that land, and it don't have anything to do with what's already existing out there. So what you described, ma'am, those things already existing right across the street. They're not us. You know, these people are doing that kind of, we're not off into these kind of operations.
We're not saying it's you. We're saying what you are doing is dangerous to the residents who exist in that area.
But
I don't know you, but I do know how to research.
Yeah, I know you're researching something that is not the magnitude of what we are doing there, or not our intention of never achieving that magnitude of stuff over there.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Morrow. Mr. Williams, did one of y'all have a question?
No, I just want to tell you, I wasn't talking to the person about you.
Yes.
Talking about the residents. Money, that's money, but that's their home. You know, they don't care about money.
I know they had a concern about their homes and the value of their homes. What we are doing over there is going to enhance the value of all the property in the neighborhood and all the communities.
Okay, we're going to close the hearings, okay? And board members, y'all got any more questions? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion.
We want to table it.
Sir,
we want to table it.
We finished. Sir,
we want to table it.
We're going to hear it.
Want to table it.
We're going to hear it.
Okay.
You said you would hear it. Ms. Brown, you want to make a motion?
I move that we deny.
You got to give a reason.
Based on the fact of what I just read, the dangers, and the community wanting to enhance itself and stay as it is.
Got a motion? Mr. Tyson, you okay with that comment?
Yes.
That reason? You got it, Jovan? You got it?
Want to restate it?
Want to restate it?
You're okay. Okay. Jovan got it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I will have a motion to deny. Do I have a second? Second. Mr. Hughes seconds. All in favor of the motion to deny this item, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4-5. The motion did not carry. Okay.
Minutes?
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 Do what?
The minutes from the last meeting?
Oh, yeah, minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Have a motion to approve?
Second.
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 All in favor, say
Second.
aye. Aye. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, say aye.